everyone, so today's video is going to be none other than a book haul of the recent books that I have purchased within the month of June 2020. So I am so excited to be able to, or not even to be able to do, but to do this for you guys because I have found a lot of books that I either have already read and have enjoyed or I'm looking forward to starting soon. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. Also, I forgot to say in the intro, please ignore Mount Vesuvius that is popping up on my face. Because I work in retail, I have to wear a face mask all day for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, sometimes 6 days a week. Your mask is just sitting there with all of your sweat and oils and everything just like stuck against your face all day, every day. And it is a problem. So I'm gonna kind of talk about these books in chronological order of when I bought them. Most of them were bought in like big groups together, so there wasn't really too much of a chronological order to do. But the first book I'm going to talk about is one that has been very popular, House of Earth and Blood, Crescent City by Sarah J. Maas. And this is the first Sarah J. Maas book that I have read. And it probably was not the best book for me to start out with. I have finished the book. I've thoroughly enjoyed the book. But if you've not heard anyone talk about it, I will tell you the very beginning is really slow. And I know that there needed to be a lot of world building in this book, but it just was not, the beginning was not for me. The whole rest of the book was great, and I'm really looking forward to the rest of this series, but that's that. I am working on writing a review of this on my blog. It's like midway through. Now I'm just kind of like writing my little spoiler type post for the bottom of it, talking about my feelings on the cover, which is so pretty, but talking about my feelings on the cover and certain things that happen in the book. So hopefully that'll be up in the next week or so. The next set of books that I bought were bought a few weeks after Crescent City was bought, and they are from a store called Book Warehouse, and I work at an outlet mall, so the bookstore is kind of like an outlet bookstore type thing. There's not a lot of books that I really recognize there. There are some authors I recognized, but that was about it. I bought 3 books because they had hardback books, 3 for $20 or $7.99 a piece. So the very first book that I got was, and I'm gonna butcher the name, is Althea and Oliver by Christina Moracho. Is that right? Yeah, Moracho. And this book sounded very interesting. The color or the cover being yellow. I don't own a lot of yellow books, so it caught my attention. And basically from just the little bit that I've read, it's pretty much just about two people who have been friends for a really long time. And the girl, Althea, sorry, she makes a really bad decision and ruins her relationship with her best friend. But then they apparently, I think, come back together and, you know, it's a happy feel-good story. So I have not read it. I am looking forward to reading it. It sounds really cute. I'm a sucker for YA contemporary cheesy romance stories, so down for that. The second book that I got that day was called The Boy Who Killed Grant Parker by Kat Spears. And this is another kind of young adult book, but it seems like it also might be a little bit of like a murder mystery book. I have started the first page of this book and then I got distracted because I started it while I was reading at work at lunchtime, and then something came up. So I'm looking forward to this. Basically, there's a boy who gets sent to a private school. Luke is not like the best of friends with Grant, and then all of a sudden, obviously this tells you this in the title, but Grant ends up dead, and now Luke is like top dog at the school. So I don't know, sounds interesting. All of these are really short YA books because that was most of the books that they had there, but again, I enjoy myself some YA books. And then last but not least from that day, I picked up a book by Lori Faria Stolars. I probably butchered that name. And when I bought the book, I've got to preface this with, I did not realize that it was a book that was part of a series, so I'm still trying to decide if I'm going to buy the rest of the series because it's like the 4th book in a series. But it also sounds like maybe you don't need to read the rest of the book to know, like the rest of the series to know what's going on. I don't really know. But it is Deadly Little Voices. And this one is basically just about someone who has like a kind of like superpower type ability. And her ex-boyfriend also has those abilities. And she's trying to figure out who this victim or this premonition that she's having, who is in danger, and it just sounds, again, kind of fun. Also, I really liked the font choice for some of the pages, so, and the book cover was cute, so that's how we got that. And then finally moving on to the last 4 books that I ordered, and these 4 books are all by Black authors. And I'm very excited to talk about them because I've read one of them, it was great. The other 3 I'm very excited for. So we're gonna start out with the book that I've already read, Truly, Madly, Royally by Debbie Regaud. And as I said, I read this already. I do have a review of it up on my blog if you wanna go check that out. It is a super easy YA read about Zora, who is a Black girl who meets a prince of a European country while she is doing a college prep program her summer before her senior year of high school. And she meets this boy, and you can tell from the cover that there is a relationship, and it's cute, it's good. I will say my one little critique of it was that I wish that that Owen, who is the prince, had like slightly more development to him, but also the book is supposed to mostly be about Zora, so it wasn't like something that killed it for me. It came out in 2019. So I'm really hoping that there's a second book that comes out to this because I want to know like where the book ends off is a good ending point, but like I want to know what happens afterwards. So cute book, really enjoyed it. The next book I picked up is A Blade So Black by L.L. McKinney, and this is basically a nightmare, it says a nightmare verse book, and it's basically just like it seems like a very dark version of Alice in Wonderland, which if you couldn't tell by my frame with the quote, I really love Alice in Wonderland. It's one of my favorite books. So I'm really excited to read this one. I also haven't started it because I have another Alice in Wonderland book I need to read, and it's Heartless by Marissa Myers. I still need to read that, so I haven't read this yet. I don't know if I'll get to it this month because I do have a book from NetGalley that I still need to read before the end of next week, but if I don't get to it this month, this is on the top of my TBR for July. So the next book that I picked up that day is Dorothy Must Die by Danielle Page. And I'm really excited about this book. Just the back of the book makes the book seem super interesting. So I'm gonna read it to you guys.
I didn't ask for any of this. I didn't ask to be some kind of hero. But when your whole life gets swept up by a tornado taking you with it, you have no choice but to go along, you know? Sure, I've read the books, I've seen the movies, but I never expected Oz to look like this. A place where good witches can't be trusted, and wicked witches just might be the good guys. A place where even the Yellow Brick Road is crumbling. What happened, Dorothy? My name is Amy Gum, and I'm the other girl from Kansas. I've been recruited by the Revolutionary Order of the Wicked, and I've been given a mission. Remove the Tin Man's heart, steal the Scarecrow's brain, take the lion's courage, and then Dorothy must die.
I'm so excited to read this book. I've been really into fairy tale retellings and just like other book retellings, and I love murder mysteries. I love true crime books. So this is like a mixture of I used to love Wizard of Oz, and so it's a mixture of Wizard of Oz, murder mystery, potentially crime stuff, and it's a retelling sort of, but also it's a new version, and I am so down. I'm so excited to read this book. And then the final book that I picked up this month is a book from Whitney D. Grandison called A Love-Hate Thing. Now this one I've started, I'm on page 20. So far I'm really enjoying it. But this book is about a boy named Tyson and a girl named Nandy. And Tyson goes and moves in with Nandy's family, and Nandy doesn't want him there. and they don't really like each other. And then I'm going to read like a section of this, and it says, through time, Trice brings Nandy out of her shell, and Nandy attempts to melt the ice that's taken over Trice's heart and being. Only with the ever-present pullback to the Lindenwood streets, it'll be a wonder if Trice makes it through the summer at all. So I started this, like I said, I am enjoying it so far. Hopefully I can get it finished here soon, but great read so far. So good. So I hope you guys enjoyed that little book haul and you enjoyed seeing the books that I have purchased this month. These are just the books that I've purchased for myself. Oh, hello Nug. Thank you for joining us. And then I did purchase some books for a Secret Santa type thing that I'm part of. So that is, kind of that. I'm not going to tell what those books are because that is a surprise for the person who gets those. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the quick, entrance of Nug, who decided to move off camera for some reason. And I will see you guys on my next video, which I think is probably going to be my top 5 reads so far this year, because I've read like 45 books and I've got opinions and thoughts. So if you guys have any requests for videos, please leave them in the comments because I love video ideas. Let me know what books you guys have bought recently, and if you've read any of the books that I talked about in this haul, let me know down below what you thought about them, and I will see you guys all soon. Bye!